How's everybody doing? I got a treat for you today. Batman Beyond, How Strong is Terry McGinnis? But before I get right into it, thank you all that have donated to the channel. Appreciate it a lot. An otherwise ordinary high school student who recently put his delinquent days behind him, Terry's life's changed when he gets on the bad side of Joker's gang that idolizes the long past clown prince of crime. Since this stuff is set in the future, Joker's like a legend at this point, in the animated series point at least. He leads them out of the city and away from his girl that he had currently. The chase happens to end up at the gates of stately Wayne Manor when Bruce shows the Jokers the hard way that he can still handle punks like them, aka old Bruce Wayne that can still fight. He has like a heart attack, then helps Bruce back into his home. Terry stumbles upon the Batcave and is promptly thrown out. He went home, his father's just gone and got destroyed, apparently in retaliation by the Joker's gang or whatever. Now runs Bruce Wayne's company, shows up asking about a disc his father apparently had before his death. Realizing that the Jokers were not his father's killers, Terry heads back to Wayne Manor to try to convince Bruce to help. When Bruce refuses to get directly involved, Terry steals the last Batsuit, takes off to settle things with his own. After foiling a plot of Powers to sell a devastating chemical weapon to rogue nations, Terry is finally accepted by Bruce to carry the mantle of Batman, which is a higher tech suit than normal. This is one of the rare cases where the suit actually makes him physically stronger than before. Let's dive right into it though. Don't get it twisted, without a suit, he still can fight. He can wrestle people off of him with just raw skill. I'm not joking. He just has skills overall. Respect his fighting skills in general. When he is wearing the suit, he can actually fly. He has enhanced strength, striking power wise, punch this large monster. It's way bigger than him. Kick through a pillar. Strong enough to kick this large robot. Like that far. He can kick 2 men off of him at once. Consistently uppercutting large men into the air. Striking power. Look how far they go. The stuff that nobody pays attention to is doing stuff like kicking fire hydrants apart. Yes, the DCAU has comics. DC Animated Universe. This is in the same universe, by the way, with the legendary animated series of Justice League Unlimited. It's in that same universe, but far in the future. So it's awesome. Karate chops handcuffs apart. Bust folk through hospital doors. Like that. Strength. He can hold back big characters. Oh yeah, he has gas. He's consistently fighting characters way bigger than him. See what I'm saying? This thick metal door, look at that, pushes it off. Strength. The suit by itself is strong enough to crumble concrete. Look at that. See what I mean? Just the suit. He's fighting the suit, by the way. It's a high-tech suit. Just letting you know the suit itself has strength. It can jump really high without even flying, one could say. Just shows agility, battle feat. If you still don't believe me about the suit, it was even stated that it amplifies your strength by at least 10 to 1. So it's times a 10 multiplier at least. Whatever Terry McGinnis can do, the suit can do 10 times that. Whatever he is. It's even stated again, you can't beat me, I'm 10 times stronger than you. This is the time of fighting him, the legendary Batman, of course. The stage strategy and skill will best strength any day, Think about it, he was able to stop a speeding truck by anchor, get an idea of the pulling power too. One can say this is a durability feat. Crushes a baseball bat in his hand this one time. Pulls off the hinges. Breaks out of a block of ice. He freed himself from under a steel girder this one time. Ink. With cement, like all that stuff on top of him. Strength. Respect it. Pushes this large machine off of him. Large metal tower. Fell on him. Was still able to free himself from it. As you can see, he freed himself. Lifts this large piece of wreckage off of him after being buried in it. Like let that sink in, like all that weight. Respect that strength. Yes, the suit's durable enough to walk through flames. As you can see, unaffected by chemical fire. Throwing knives that go into metal. Don't really pierce the Batsuit that much in this fight. Speed level character. What am I saying? This character was able to react to bullets. So she's pretty quick fighting speed wise, right? But Batman Beyond can fight her one-on-one in fighting speed. See what I mean? He's fast enough to weave through laser fire. Dodges more laser fire while flying. I just showed you this being, a very fast being in combat, is able to keep up with this being in combat, despite this being fast enough to deflect gunfire, evade it, evading ice blast from him, and etc. Combat feat. Let me get some more into the specs of the suit, man. It's kind of like on some Iron Man type stuff, but not really, but it does increase the user strength, and it's way more techy, one could say, versus the other one in the DC Animated Universe, the Justice League Unlimited Universe that the other Bruce Wayne used to use. You know what I mean? For example, it has a listening device in the fingertips. They can literally listen through solid walls. Telescopic vision, can literally zoom in. Listening, the Batcave can view anything through it, records everything it sees. It has frequency scanners. It's right there. Infrared vision, aka clear sight through smoke. It can switch between night, infrared, ultraviolet, and all that. Infrared, ultraviolet. You see? It has a radio receiver on the cowl. Respect it. His suit can detect pulse fluctuations. It states here. He can tell if you're lying. He has gauntlets in his suit. Yep, they house batarangs like that. They just come out. And fighting a whole bunch of meta, they can even fire against these metahumans, like just shoot out. They hit hard enough to crumble a creature made of earth like that. They can even slice through these metal that's strong enough to hold him. Look how they fire, slice, slice. See that? They can even do it in rapid fire mode while flying. Do. You see what I'm saying? Speed. This being was fast though. Yeah, his suit even has claws. Ching, while fighting ink in the battlefield, gauntlet spikes. He can use them to slow his descent. He can use them to slice. Sings like that. Combos. Like he evidently got like beams in his gauntlet like that. He rarely uses. Device in his fingertip hacks like that. His suit can fire pulses to release magnetic locks. His grappling device can pierce things made of rock. See how it pierces all the way through him like that, pulling strength like that. We can't forget that he has invisible mode. Yes, that's right. Camouflage mode. Lights can detect him. That's the limitation of him, right? His suit can release an electric charge from his hands. As you can see, you can use it in combat against Ink and Metahuman. Respect it. Defeats Ink in this occasion, battle feat. It doesn't have to be through its belt. It can be through this grapnel, giant creature. See that strength? Able to hold it off like that. Release it to the grappling hook like that. Electricity. He uses this electricity to this being on a stero. Things that be take control of people's minds. He does it to a whole bunch of Starios underwater like that during their fight with Superman. He has magnetic boots that stick to ceilings. Yeah, his suit has a breathing apparatus that allows him to breathe underwater. He evidently has more than one type of breathing apparatus, by the way. You see that? Yet another breathing apparatus where it's just like a zipper on his mouth. He even has some that protects him against harmful gas. It even has a failsafe for if you're not supposed to be using the suit, it can put you in a paralysis. It renders the wearer immobile. Failsafe at the Batcave. Paralysis the suit in case the wrong person gets into it. If you had any doubt, the suit is much stronger than you are. The literal suit is stronger than the person wearing it. If you want to use the EMP against it, it'll work against the flight parts, but the other stuff is operational. You know what I'm saying? His vision and batarangs and stuff. So he's not just immobile. He has like titanium binding batarangs. Like that, see? Of course he got explosive batarangs. Knockout gas, sleep tight, flashbang that does this to the league. Well, the new league evidently carries tranquilizer darts in the suit. Tranquilizer darts. At one time he used acid against this giant robot being, and he can even put out fires. Battlefield with this meta, dodging, made the fire, getting bad. He's got equipment for that too, and the belt, throws it, puts it out. He has these bowler restraints. You can take attacks from a gorillas, by the way. Throws a gorilla like that, and they can restrain him. He even has taser bullets. They can restrain you and tase you at the same time. They KO a bionic man. He has stuff strong enough to contain a gorilla dinosaur hybrid. Even has handcuffs to restrain folk like that. You gotta respect the handcuffs. Click, click. By the way, he got a Batmobile that can fly. Yeah, it got ripped apart by Superman. It can fire missiles. Don't you like a Batmobile that can fly though? He can just eject out of it. It can even shoot out EMP claw like that to disable stuff. It can release a net. Magnetic clamps can catch a falling car while it go ahead and tows it to safety. He has a handheld circular saw that can slice through stuff like that. Used against creatures made of earth. You gotta respect the saw. Like slice. When it comes to speed, the Batmobile, during an occasion with Superman, you can fly. Mach 3 is its top speed, which means the Batmobile can fly over 2,000 miles per hour. The Batmobile can also cloak, not just the Batsuit. It has sonar, autopilot engaged. When it comes to just straight hand-to-hand combat, he trained with Bruce with robotic duplicates. Fake Riddler, respect it. Two-Face, just training session. Fights multiple folks at once in combat, showing his skills. Overall, drop kick. Had to use staffs and sticks against this bang-like being.
You got got the moves, kid, but you lack discipline.
The Batman Beyond has at least supersonic plus fighting speed, being able to fight that character I showed you earlier in the video that can literally deflect gunfire. He had no problem reacting to this same being sword slices in combination with his bat suit plus his skills and etc. Like the bat suit is an efficient part of what makes him the Batman Beyond, right? One of the most respectable fighting speed feats Batman Beyond has is fighting this being who is a member of the Society of Assassins, who's strong enough to cut through a large statue that thick with one freaking swipe. So even for him to be a DC animated universe version of Batman, a future version at that, there's pretty clear writer intent that they want this version of him to be physically above the normal Batman thanks to the futuristic tech. Let's be honest, guys. You can like your favorite movies all you want, but let's be honest, the newer movies get are going to have better special effects and stuff. It's kind of similar to this. No matter if you like Bruce Wayne better, you just got to accept the fact that this suit is built to make him stronger than the average Batman. You know what I mean? It's up for debate on which one you think is better from the DC animated universe, but you got to just admit the fact that they want a certain one to be a certain level. You know, it's nothing you really can debate about that. Death Battle did me a favor and calculated one of Terry's best physical strength feats, showing how strong Terry McGinnis with his suit on as a bare minimum.
Call that boulder that he lifted underwater. Compared Terry's height to the boulder, applied the density for limestone, and subtracted the weight reduced by underwater buoyancy. Find the boulder's weight to be 192 tons.
Thanks to them doing that math for me, it's basically confirming that Batman Beyond can lift over 180 tons, and he did it with ease. And remember, most people, me and you included, can strike or attack harder than what we can lift. There's a good chance he can punch with 3 times this level of force, just like real life people can hit 3 times the level of force of what they can lift. Stuff like that. It's just some food for thought right there. Did you guys know he was this strong? I want to hear your thoughts on that, though. What if I told you there is a Batman Beyond in the comic book? Some say there's Batman Beyond on Earth 12 of the multiverse. DCAU is a part of the same multiverse as well, but you know what I mean? But there are a few differences between Terry McGinnis in the comic book version versus the DCAU. For example, in this universe, Terry McGinnis decides he cannot trust Bruce and begins to work with Dick Grayson instead, but he ends up reconciling with Bruce. But he ends up restoring his faith in Bruce later on, though. But he wanted to prove that he is the one true Batman Beyond. Despite the addition of this like different history, the post-crisis history, comic version of Batman Beyond is a little confusing because you see the current era like Robins and stuff like that, like Jason Todd and stuff. In the comic version of where Batman Beyond appears in, Batman stopped working with partners after Silver's death, as opposed to the DCAU's version. Tim Drake's Jokerization, like in the Batman Beyond, is different here. You know what I mean? He stopped working with partners for a different reason in post-crisis, right? All that stuff aside, Batman Beyond from the DCAU was the thing that kind of made him popular. So there's still, even if there is some story differences, there's still a lot of lore that's similar from the DC animated universe. But in the meantime, it is nice to see Batman Beyond in actual comic books though. But let's see how strong he actually is. He's strong enough to fly with a mallet swing. He can lift and throw men by just picking them up in one hand. Overpowers, lifts this little truck full of sand and drops it on folk. It's being known as Rewire. He's strong enough to restrain Man-Bat, new mate. Just got to handle battle feet. Let me just drag you across the floor because I'm too strong. In collateral of fighting somebody else, he breaks part of a rooftop. You see the cracks below. You guys probably remember this being in his Hush. He got in the battlefield with Hush. Fighting 2 thugs is like literally nothing to him. Takes out several Jokers, fighter out my way. Somehow was able to draw blood from a Green Lantern. Hey, it's Big Barda. He was wearing the Nightwing suit this one time. He was able to punch 2 cyborgs out of the sewer. Like, this is without his suit, that means no strength enhancement, so that's pretty impressive, showing that he's more than likely no super soldier tier steel, even without no serum. One shots folks with a double kick, even though the suit doesn't enhance him, really matter, he's still way above normal humans regardless, right? Split kick, knock you out, dodging, speed, reaction time. Joker King Yari ready, dives, blitzes. Consistently fighting Man-Bat, just to get an idea of the lore of how strong he is fighting these people consistently. He KO'd Man-Bat, consistently fighting Vigilante, gets the jump on him. Of course, he has to get in battle feats with one of the Royal Flush Gang members. Fighting speed, able to dodge gunfire, weaving around it, and he can fly, of course, maneuverability. That's one of the abilities the suit gives him. Nice wings. On this occasion, dodging gunfire again, dodging folks again. Shriek is disguised as Nightwing here. Fought this dude as Phantasm's Blade. Just the same dude I showed you earlier, drags him, you know what I mean? Dodges heat vision from a Superman robot. How many times he gotta dodge or reflect gunfire with his combat speed for you guys to understand his fighting speed? His suit does add to his durability, being able to take a small little attack from Green Lantern. Yeah, you can see the little differences here. Doesn't this remind you of the DC animated universe? There's even times where he lands on the ground so hard it's like a crater, but he still gets back up. He's gotten a fight with Catwoman, showing his fighting skills against other named folks. Knocks away somebody's kill switch with a batarang. This shows like accuracy with marksmanship. He's even trained on how to beat the Justice League. You gotta have prep time as a Bat character, right? He got trained by my boy Nightwing so much that other people notice. Dick Grayson of Another Reality notices that he moves like him, thanks to all that training, Terry McGinnis. You already know the bat suit is off the chain. I mentioned this earlier that it's capable of flight. Similar to the DC animated universe, he can press his finger upon glass and hear stuff. Invisibility mode, obviously. Can summon the Batmobile whenever he feels like it because it's all connected to one, network. He can use rocket boots without necessarily using his wings. Imitate folk, as you can see. The suit can even help him heal. Just like the other suit in the DC animated universe has electric charge, or this electric charge gives Big Barda, somebody that's technically leagues out of his tier. It can read heartbeats and vital signs, capable of monitoring and reading energy, has a magnesium flash, telescopic vision. It's DNA locked to where somebody other than Terry cannot just wear it and steal the suit. They can't use the suit to the fullest extent. The suit also has batarangs, of course, wrist mounted batarangs so he can just shoot it like a Gatling gun. Electroshock stun, yeah, of course. Laser pointers to blindfold. Things on his wrists can block bullets. Impact diffusers, thermal vision. This guy even has ice batarangs for, characters that have weakness to elemental stuff like ink. Small remote taser batarangs. Not only was he able to break out of this, but he hit Green Lantern afterwards. You remember the Justice Lords? The version of the Justice League from an alternate reality in a DC animated universe that kind of became some dictators because of a loss of one of their teammates. It was an alternate reality version of the Justice Lords. Terry McGinnis got one of their suits made by one of the people in this verse. He got a suit made by the Justice Lord's version of Batman. It was made to combat Lord Superman. Get an idea of his strength, taking out these fighter jokers with a Z. Literally lifts the Batmobile, breaks himself out of prison because of raw strength. Got in a battlefield with Justice Lord Superman, so of course he's not as strong as him, obviously. Even though he does do this to Justice Lord Superman with a punch. It states clear, compliments of Lord Batman. As you can see, a bat suit powered by synthetic kryptonite, perfect against Kryptonians. It even fires kryptonite blasts to help even the playing field of whatever power he does lack in his suits. Heck, think about it, they bring him down to his knees. Red sun mode is able to hold back Superman. Has offensive electromagnetic shielding. Can use it to enhance his strength without necessarily using kryptonite. By the way, he's completely bulletproof in his armor. I mean, think about it. He better be bulletproof enduring all these hits from Lord Superman. I'm just saying. Bruce also has these backup bat suits in case Terry needed to be replaced, like little bat robot thingies. And that's pretty much it for Earth 12 Batman Beyond in the comic books without repeating too much stuff that I've already said in DCAU. And yes, there was a Batman Beyond in the New 52 era or Rebirth era, some would say. There was a point where Tim Drake was wearing the suit, then there was a prototype suit. You know what I mean? Let's run through it. It has a lot of the same abilities I've already went over. I don't want to sound like a broken record. You know what I'm saying? For example, it has a targeting system. The cape itself can deflect lasers. Cape itself can regenerate because of nice technology, might I add. It can literally tank assault rifle fire. Of course, when Tim was using the suit, it can go invisible. It can switch to civilian outfits. Magnetic shielding, like you can literally see the bullets curving around him. Has his own internal oxygen supply. I don't know how this works, but it can even detect how skilled an opponent is. Tim's suit has the strength to move all this large concrete rubble, rips a robot's arm off, lifts a manhole cover and uses it as a weapon, lifts this giant slab of concrete. Like, look at all of that weight, showing that he should be able to lift similarly like the other DC animated universe Batman Beyond. Chokes out this giant Goliath character. Prototype suit, break out of being encased in ice. He's fast enough to react to SMG fire. Of course he can. He's a Batman character. Of course he has skill enough to take on a whole bunch of armed guards. Waves of them, might I add. Of course it's nothing new. One-shot somebody with a tongue of death strike because of skills, just raw skills. He even took on Mr. Terrific in this particular occasion of battle. Ling, X7 suit takes on a large group of assassins ninjas. Respected, combat speed, skills, and etc. Like, look at all those people that's laid out. Did you guys know Batman Beyond was this strong? Did you know he can lift hundreds of tons? Better tech equals better, standard gear. You know what I mean? Of course, if we bring in other stuff for Bruce Wayne, like the Hellbat and all that stuff, Hellbat and stuff will be above this suit. You know what I mean? But like standard Batman suit versus this suit would be physically superior because it literally gives him enhancements on top of Terry McGinnis being pretty strong without the suit, but then the suit multiplies him by 10. Stuff like that, like in the DC animated universe days, like I showed in the same video, stuff like that. But I'll see you guys later. Respect Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond. Check out those playlists so I can see you more on the channel. See you later.